people. Break your flavor block with Bothwell cheese.
At Wayfair, delivery and setup can be as easy as, well, doing nothing. Sprint setup. Wayfair, every style, every
All right.
This program is available video for the visually impaired.
All gas, no brakes. Plays of the month starts now.
Ready?
Oh, just start it. What is up, everyone?
What's up, everybody? March 12th, 2026. Show number 2 for Headspace Hockey. Vancouver Canucks.
And I'm Gerald.
Awesome. Clever. Still working at the Kings. Very new to this, but very much appreciate all you guys being here to join us. Today is going to be our usual show for us. We're gonna do Canucks at a glance for the week, and then we're gonna check in with a guest, and then we're gonna do our one of our main segments, which is called Between Shifts, which we'll get to in a bit. Gerald, how's the week for you?
It's been okay. A little, I don't know. Personally, it could be better, but yeah, it was okay in a sense that you and I got to go to the game on Monday.
Yeah, it's fun.
That was a lot of fun. We did our quick sort of reel, and then now we're here today, right? I mean, there's only 2 games on the slate this week, and you got to go to both. So tell me about that.
Yeah. So the Monday game was courtesy of Clay, so that was nice. And I normally I would have brought my father-in-law or my wife, but she opted not to go, and so that's why I called you up. And then Clay, in the end, rearranged his seats so that he could sit with us. So it was you, me, Kayla, and Clay, which is fun, even though the game wasn't as fun, which we'll get to later. Tonight's game was a last-minute thing. It was courtesy of my father-in-law, Brian. He just, in the afternoon, they phoned me up and said, "Hey, do you want to go to the game tonight?" And I was actually really contemplating if I wanted to, because I wanted to make it home in time for the stream. As fun as it is to watch the Canucks win. This is only our 7th win for at home for the whole season, so you know what the odds are. But yeah, I ended up leaving the game early because for me this is a little bit more important. But yeah, I guess all in all, it's been a pretty good week. Even if they win or lose, your worst night at the rink is better than pretty much any other night. At least I would say.
You guys heard it here. He chose you guys over being at the game. I called this guy. Actually, I messaged him. I think at 9:30, and I said, "Hey, it looks like should we push the show back a little bit?" And he's like, "Nope, I'm like on the way home already." I was like, "What?" It just got into overtime, and this is very important to him. So thank you for all of you for showing up early and on time, because that means a lot to us. It means a lot to Yrvin, because he made the effort to rush from the arena back home to do the stream. And it was he missed something I would say was kind of big. Like, like it was exciting. Like it was. I had a hunch going into the third. I was like, 3-1. It feels like it's an overtime game. Like I wish I threw money on it, but I was like, it looks like it's going to go into overtime, and it eventually does. So we'll be breaking that down a little bit. Should we do tonight's game first, or should we go?
We'll start at the top of the week. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to all you beauties in the chat. That's Fangirl, that's Coach, that's Just Incredible, that's Taylor Betts, that's Duo. You know, the support means a lot to us, more than you'll know. So thank you. Okay, so do you want to get to the week at a glance?
Okie dokie. So
this is meant to be kind of a shotgun review because we're not aiming to be like Canucks news. It's just kind of to put everything into context.
I think it's more of just a reminder what happened, a glance of the week. What we if you are not.
Do you want to rock paper scissors? Who's going to do it between you and me?
Doesn't matter. I can do one game. You can do tonight's game, or vice versa.
Okay. You take Monday, and then I'll take tonight's.
Okay.
Since I was there.
So yeah, both Yrvin and I were at the game, courtesy of Clay. This was not a very entertaining game, but I would say it was the debut of Curtis Douglas, which was amazing. The first time we saw him get on the ice, we were just like, wow, this guy's just a giant. And if you looked at one of the reels that we did right after the game, I think Yrvin had an image of Curtis Douglas. I will do a quick shout out to him. Actually, you know what? I'll just do it now. Why I'm so impressed with Curtis Douglas, aside from his size, is, he is given an opportunity right now to, like tonight, he played with, I believe it was DeBrusk.
Ratu. DeBrusk had a demotion.
Ratu? Yeah, and Ratu, and he got some looks. It's really not the game that I'm all impressed with. It's what he does off the ice. Given that we're Headspace Hockey, we talk about mental health and hockey. This guy is one of those key guys that I want to focus on, because he actually has a cause that he does every year, and it's he grows his mullet, and there's a GoFundMe page, which I'll find later on when our special guest comes on, and I'll throw out that link. But he raises money for mental health. So for CAMH, which is what I spoke about last week or on other streams that I've spoken about. So that is the, God, I can't even remember what it's called, but it's CAMH, Center of Addiction and Mental Health, CAMH. So he raises money every year ever since he's been wherever he played in AHL, and he's bringing that over here. So hats off to him for doing that. And let's just go back to this glance. So this game, pretty much only Grieg scored in the second, assisted by Pinto and Zub. It was a wrist shot that Lankinen played very well this game, I have to say. And this goal, I think it was a defense mishap. It's not that he wasn't ready. It's one of those that he couldn't save. And then the other goal, obviously, Brady Tkachuk, Stutzla. It was a empty net. Canucks, I believe PD had a chance, and then it went back the other way, and that's how it ended. But looking at the stats in general, they did not play very well, because if you look at the shots, even by period, after two, they're at 13 shots. When we were doing a second intermission with Russ on Nothing is Perfect, Yrvin and I both actually took the over. So we're thinking, average, it'd be about 7 shots a period. We'll take the over. Canucks ended up with 3 shots. Sens, on the other hand,
I thought like even just because of score effects, we would have had more, but not really much of a sniff all game.
like it was just one of those games that, you know, I typically try to, if I had to watch only one period, I would watch the third. This game, you know, Irvin, I could have left early like he did today, but we didn't. So, and there's 3 shots. But going on to tonight's game, you know, it's a different story. Like the shots were a lot more, and we'll see that in a sec. In terms of ice times, pretty even. But what was surprising was this Curtis Douglas 652. I didn't look at the ice time for tonight's game, but this game, I guess it's more of like a test just to see how he gels with the rest of the team. He had I think he had two or three shifts in the first period alone, and we thought, wow, he's getting a lot of ice time. He ended up only getting just a tad under 7. And the other interesting part is Bluger playing 18 over PD's. Let's see here, where's PD? PD's 15. So that's your first line center and your third line center or second line center. Say as you might, you know, it just feels like, yeah, Adam Foote had more confidence in Bluger in that game. Hronek usually taking his top minutes, 26, which is, I think it's okay compared to Quinn Hughes' 28, 29, sometimes 30. And Bjorn getting up there with the 20-minute mark, same as Willander. Marcus Pettersson, 22. Everything looks pretty similar. I'm actually happy with the defense so far with this game. They in general, I think the defensive side of this game was okay, or if not, it could have been easily like 4-0. But yeah, let's head over to tonight's game.
Yeah. Oh wow, you got the graphics ready. I appreciate that, Gerald. Also, what's up, SGAC in the chat. Okay, so tonight's game, a little bit of a mix-up with the lines. It was Huglander out and Kane in on the top line with Pettersson and Drew O'Connor. I think the other two stayed the same, and then DeBrusque ended up being demoted, like we said, with Ratu and the hell's his name? Curtis Douglas. You know, and we really did have a lot of the run of the play. There was 2 clear-cut breakaways from O'Connor and Linus Karlsson, who both, I think they just ran out of space. Linus Karlsson tried to go 5-hole and he didn't get it because Saros ended up closing the gap. But even with that, who came in? Yeah, for some reason I thought we walked away from the first 2-1. As the game progressed, though, it seemed like they kept running out of juice. It was like 12 shots on goal in the first period. Yeah, there it is right there. So you see, second period cut down by half. At 6 minutes left in the third, they were sitting on only 1 shot on goal. And I ended up leaving out at 4 minutes left in the game, just because, like I said, I wanted to make it home for the stream. And it was still 3-1 at that time. The goals that were scored by Nashville, you had kind of a scramble play in front of the net where Joseph's in alone and Tolopilo was down and he chipped it over. And then the second goal was a shot from the point that went behind the net, and you had three Canucks players puck watching, and then the puck ended up going into the slot where Joseph's in alone again, scored his second of the game, and then the third one, I think Fangra mentioned, is pure bad luck, is something that deflected off of the stick of Liam Ogren. So bad news for Connor Cahill's boy. But nice to see them claw back and take those points off Nashville, who are very desperate right now. I don't know if you have the graphic for this standings, but I know that they're in a bit of a dogfight in the chase pack. They're behind San Jose, who won today, and yeah, obviously this
They're
is
2 points
pretty-
back, and San Jose actually has 1 game in hand.
Yeah,
But I'll grab you that graphic you see.
but shout out to my father-in-law who brought me to the game. You know, I'm pretty lucky that I have a good relationship with my father-in-law. It's not the case for everybody. And as much as I wanted to make time for the stream, I also did want to make time for him. And you know, we didn't mind leaving early because we knew that, like, even if they win, doesn't matter. Like, they could win 10 games at this point. They're still going to be in 32nd place in the league, right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Just want to make sure I.
Sorry.
it
Just give me 1 sec. I'm just trying to get you that screenshot. Of
it's all good. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Nashville is in the chase back. If you're in chat and you know, please update us. Also, what's up to Nick from Headspace from Windy City Hockey. And so moving on, we've got Seattle coming up on Saturday, who are pretty securely in a. Oh wow! So as you can see there, the wild card is pretty tightly contested with Nashville, LA, and Seattle all 1 point behind of San Jose, with games in hand. And we are secure.
Yeah, San Jose still has a game. Actually, no, two games in hand now. So I think San Jose is going to be a lock. Yeah, SGA Sports Talk Shuttle's in the house, so his team looks like it's fine. He was actually talking about tanking at one point at the last stream, and I'm like, but you guys are in the race. Like, why would you tank? Like, you're not 32nd right here. Look at the Canucks. Like, we're at 48 points, man. So, you know, it looks like it's going to be a dogfight between San Jose, Seattle, and Utah. These few. I don't think, like, LA is slowly losing it. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the end, and go from there.
Yeah, not to sell the farm, but it's a tough spot when you're in the chase pack. But we'll talk about that later because it's going to be part of our last segment. Okay.
Just before we end that, I just want to throw in a little bit more for tonight's game.
Go ahead.
Especially in overtime. I think, you know, that sequence where they tied the game. Besser had a great game. Ogren had a really.
That whole line was really good, actually.
Yeah, I love that bro line. So it'd be, yeah. So Besser, Rossi, and Ogren. So apparently it's the new bro line or the mini line, like 2 Minnesota X and Wild players and a Brock that's from Minnesota. So mini bro line, I guess. That line was great, and hopefully Adam Foote, like we were saying the game before, the deployment was terrible. Keep this line together, please, because I have a picture which maybe I'll put at the end of the stream. You had the celebration after the Rossi goal. That was the tying goal. You had Rossi, Buem, Ogren, Besser, and then Heroic skates in. Like that looks like the new core. Obviously, there's young DPD that should be in that too, but that looks like a good core that you can work with, and hopefully they keep that intact. PD, I think Justin in the house is going to be like, yeah, PD played terrible. Or there's some people that I know said PD played terrible. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Like he missed that breakaway at the end. He was shooting the puck. And the line, him playing with Doc, I think was great. I think Doc was hustling, almost got a tipping goal from a PD so-called shot. Yep. But yeah, I mean, in general, this game had the effort, and this is what I've been asking for. So
that line was having a run of play, and for what it's worth, something I saw out of Pettersson that I didn't see in the Dallas game that I went to earlier this year is him actually talking on the ice with his teammates, like before faceoffs. You know, a big part of hockey is communication and being predictable for your teammates. So it's good to see that at least they maybe not passing the vibe check, but they're progressing towards it.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Go ahead.
Do you feel after the trade deadline the team has played a little differently?
Well, for one thing, having Curtis Douglas around probably makes them feel a little bit taller, a little bit more confident.
Yeah.
And also having their situations settled.
Yes.
We're not mind readers here, but we try to be empaths here at Headspace Hockey. So just think if you're those guys, like just take Brock Besser, for example. He threw it out there. It's not trade deadline if my name's not out there. Think of how that would be for his psyche.
Yeah.
To think that you're playing for a team that you care so much about, but it feels like when you read the papers, read the socials, you kind of think, do they want me? It wouldn't be healthy for any relationship, for any job, right?
The reason why I bring this up is because, Headspace Hockey, and the reason why I bring this up is, after the trade deadline, everyone knows, this is basically the team that we have for the remaining 20 games. And no one's going to be as scared or worried to be traded or moved or etc. I think, players are gelling a little bit more because they know this is the core. So mentally, I think there's less anxiety for the team. They can focus on the game. They can focus on what's ahead. And, for Team Tank right now, it doesn't matter if they go on a tear. They bottomed out already. So at this point, getting a point, having a win, it doesn't really add to anything. They're going to be bottom, right? But for the team to chase for actual wins or to look for wins, it's good for morale. And I feel that, that they should just go play their best, give a good effort. If they win, great. If they don't, it contributes towards the team tank. Mm-hmm. So either way, I think it's after the trade deadline, it's a good thing for the Canucks right now.
Yeah, it's all part of the process, for sure.
Yeah. I am sorry, I don't have the graphic for Saturday.
You're okay.
Did you want to talk about it briefly?
Not too much I know about Seattle. I was trying to see if there was anybody we could talk to about that has more to say than we would. I know that they bolstered their lineup a bit with Bobby McMahon. I heard they were in on some of the St. Louis guys, perhaps Rob Thomas, perhaps Jordan Kyrou, but the prices were just a little too steep. And yeah, as you saw, they're well in the chase pack. They could make it, but it's almost like a coin flip at this point. There's no one really on the team I would say that you could hang your hat on. No game breakers, no top 20 players at any position. Just kind of a solid team, like good but not great.
Well, I mean, for Seattle, they, especially playing against the Canucks, you have Eberle that has always scored. Mm-hmm. He just got re-upped, I think 8x8 by Seattle. So
yeah, that Hattie against us last
really
game.
Good. I'm sorry?
Yeah, that hat trick against us last game too.
Oh, they changed the stat, so it was a hat trick.
Oh, they took it away?
Yeah, they took it away initially because apparently there was like a tip, but it was barely, like they thought it was a tip, but if you looked at the replay, it would have been like not even it was touching his like skate laces or whatever it was. Like it's definitely Eberle's goal, so I would say it's a hat trick. And then in general, I think the regular season right now, Seattle's won 2 of the 3. Canucks only won 1, and that was at the beginning of the season, and there was a shootout when Lanky was still.
All right.
Yeah, but both of the last games have been or sorry, the first two games both went into shootout, with exception of the last game. So for the last one in Vancouver, given the effort, tonight's game, not so much Monday's game, but on the road, I could easily see this as another tie and going into overtime or shootout. So, Seattle's trying to get that playoff spot. Canucks are trying to play spoilers. So we'll have a good game.
It could be a 3-point week for us. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, moving along. I don't want to run out of time here for our guests because I know they got a lot to say. Real quick, I just want to say, for any media inquiries, if you do want to appear on the show, if you have something to say, if you've got some insights on another team that you can give to us, this is our email. You can contact us there. We've also got all of our socials open. I believe, Gerald, you got us set up on Threads as well.
Yeah, Threads is under the same name. Facebook is also under the same name.
Obviously, it's only going to be once a week for now, but we're a very welcoming show. And with that, I would love to welcome our next guest.
Hold on one sec.
Hold
on one sec. Before we pull him on, should we run through a couple comments first? Because it's going.
Yeah, you got any start?
We don't want to. I'm sorry, our guest. Just give us a couple of minutes. Thank you for being patient. Because it just feels like if we go back to it afterwards, we're not going to know what they're talking about.
Sure.
But let's see here.
It's just a lot of people who family were saying Huglander should have played tonight. I tend to agree. It's just that I think the coach came right out and said he's trying to get Kane to 1,000 games, which I could care less about. I don't know if that's coming from ownership or not. Got Windy City Hockey. Sorry, I didn't click on that one there. Sorry. Windy City Hockey said we just swept a division team for the first time in 2016. Let us know who that is. I don't know who you're talking about. Okay, one from Taylor Betts. She wants us to talk about who we want in the next 3 drafts. I don't even see that far. To be honest with you, in most drafts, I know only about the top guys. Past that, it's like everyone else is just names on the board. You really don't know until they're in the league and you can compare them. It's only ever that the elite can't miss prospects that everyone's talking about. This year happens to be kind of a 2-horse race with McKenna and Stenberg, obviously. But although it sounds like Stenberg's falling a little bit out of favor. Anything else?
Yeah, this one from Justin. I don't think for once, Justin is saying he didn't think PD played horrible tonight. Just frustrated when he has a clear 2-on-1 in OT and the defender was playing the pass. Yeah, I would like to see it. Why do the extra deke and try? He could have won it.
That was an OT, right? Yeah, even if he had gone to the backhand, it could have gotten it in. He had Soros dead to rights there. So,
and then the shootout. Come on, man! Both net Preds didn't score, and it was DeBrus that scored that goal, right? So if PD scored, it would have been game over already, instead of Tolopilo trying to save it. Still, the stage was set for him. It was set for him, and he couldn't finish. So I'm talking on behalf of Justin Credible because I think that's what he would have said anyways. But cool. Let's welcome our first guest. We'll give him a bit of time.
Because we want to give our first guest a lot of time because we know they've got a lot to say. They've got a lot of notes written down. This is a person you know from CCC very well. You probably have seen them on other channels such as Nothing is Perfect, such as Canucks Uncensored. It's someone I've actually referred to as Big Brain Rain. And let's welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys?
How good? How are you, my friend?
Good now that it's set in, because when I accepted the invitation, I don't know if it's because I was delirious, because it was almost 3 a.m. when you asked, or if I feel like I was on LSD with a shot of ACID, because it was like, oh, I'm the guest that's following Clay. No pressure.
It's all good. It's all good. I mean, we like if you've been on YouTube long enough, you've heard this guy go on Clay's open mics, open house and all that, and he gives these really good takes. So for us,
well,
it's
listen,
always a
save
treat
it for your debate.
Okay.
Listen, don't prioritize me. Save your
Don't
BS
sell
debate.
yourself.
Don't give
short.
it away. Don't give it away yet.
But don't sell yourself short. This is an extension that we didn't take lightly. Obviously, we're a new channel, so we want to have quality guests on our show, and not just have free for all open houses. So even before
so here's
Gerald and I were we were talking about like who we want to have on our show, and you were definitely one of the names that came up in the top 10.
Thank you.
Because the thing for us, I think we're trying to make things that are credible, right? Things that have some factual, even though they're hot takes, as opposed to other people that might be on YouTube just emotionally telling people what they think about PD and how he sucks and this and that. We want someone to have actual facts that you can back up with. So without further ado, Rain, please take it away.
Okay, well, first, 2 things. I'm going to fact check you for a second, because you said Everly was at 8 times 8. That's Nick Schmaltz in Utah you were thinking of.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Thank you.
Everly's 2 years at 5.5 or something like that. And when you were showing those standings, I just saw Utah at like plus 21 in goal differential, and then all the red. Just down below that, all the red. It's like, ooh, and Vancouver at minus 72. Jesus Christ. Oh, and I felt like joining in on the ring action with the 2 other handsome ring men. So, no, I'm kidding. All right, where do I begin with this?
Where do you begin? And by the way, what jersey are you sporting on right now?
This is my Alex Ovechkin, the Screaming Eagle from this year. Here, let me stand up and I'll do it. I got headphones. Yeah.
Nice.
I got in the mail today, and I wanted an excuse to wear it, so.
Very nice.
Well, first of all, thank you for saying that I'm factual. I don't know about that. I'm more opinionated than anything else. But I look at it as...
But you have stuff to back it up.
Stuff to back it up, but I look at it as there's real-life relational aspects that I think people can take away from, make it more relatable. Like I said on the last stream I was on, not everybody can relate to being a multimillionaire who supposedly doesn't get along with their teammate. But many of us can relate to having that coworker at the office that you can't get along with. But here's the newsflash: you still have to do the job at the end of the day. So there's lots more of us who can relate to that relational aspect. All right, so I wish you could pull up the screen grab that I sent you of all those notes I sent you, because I just can imagine the eyes like, holy crap. Because
do you want us to post it?
You can if you want.
It's a bit much to read.
The last one that you sent us. Yeah. Okay.
Like
just go by your.
It's so long. So okay. So I've been on this. Where do I go here? Oh, here we go. So did we pull this up? Jeez, I can't do that. No, it's not gonna work. Okay. So I don't get this whole Horvat versus Miller versus Pettersson debate. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I think it's irrelevant. I don't believe it's a thing, because Horvat and Miller were never going to be long-term Canucks, Miller especially. There's 6 years of evidence to prove that he was never going to be a long-term Canuck. But the one that I really want to focus in on, at least I'll try to be quick with this, is the summer of 2022 and what I call the 10-week evolution, which first of all is not a thing. That's just not a thing. Because how do we go from being one handshake walk and a podium walk away from trading JT Miller to now you're going to commit to him for the next 7 years, all within 10 weeks. Like, listen, I've had produce last longer than that in my fridge than that supposed evolution. And which, first of all, we should have known that trade was never going to happen, JT Miller to the Islanders, when the fact that we knew that the Islanders were going to be interested in. Like, that team was run by Lou Lamoriello, the man who leaks Jack. Like, Toronto media hated him when he was in Toronto because he never leaked anything. And I'm thinking to myself, when we found out the Islanders were interested, I'm thinking, Lou, what are you doing? You do understand that you're making a trade with the team who's got the leakiness of a faucet in one of those creepy ass 19th century haunted houses in one of those horror movies that you see. And it's in the scene in which the protagonist is looking in the bathroom mirror right before happens. Like, this is the next trade. And I mean, we should have known that trade was going to get nixed at that point. Once we found out the Islanders were interested in. I mean, remember when Matthew Darche took over as Islanders GM? It was almost like when like Darche gets the job and Lamoriello hands him the keys to the car and says, "All right, Matthew, here's the keys to the wheel. Oh, by the way, just so you know, I signed Kyle Palmieri to a 2-year deal 4 months before he took the job. Anyways, peace." Where was I going with this? Oh, right. But so. The fact that we knew that the Islanders were interested, and I mean, listen, it wasn't like as if the Islanders were interested in or whatever. Like, we knew what the trade return was going to be. We knew it was going to be the 13th overall pick plus whatever. So the fact that and I mean, when Horvat got traded to the Islanders, did we ever hear the Islanders were interested in? No, not until the trade happened. We're like, oh, that happened. But
so was Horvat like the backup? The backup was Horvat the backup that Lamoriello went for when we didn't get JT Miller? Is that how it broke down?
Well, I mean, I don't believe the Canucks are going to keep Horvat, so maybe they were like, "Ooh, here's Plan B." So I could see Plan B being it, but also, yeah, like I said, I just don't think Horvat was ever going to be a long-term Canuck, and it's not because Horvat didn't want to be a Canuck. I think it was because management didn't think they could win with him. Because here you have 9 years of evidence with Horvat that you had one playoff run under Horvat. I mean, I don't count his rookie season because he was a fourth-line guy at that point. So you had one playoff run with Horvat in 9 years. And I think the question with him was, could you win with him? Like, can you win? And I compare him to Taylor Hall, for instance. I mean, we make the joke that Hall was on 5 teams that drafted first overall. And I mean, his longest playoff run was, I believe, with Carolina when he was a third liner. So when he's not the go-to guy, it's a little different in that sense. And I think with Horvat, I mean, you got Barzal there, so maybe he doesn't have to be the go-to guy, although he's been fantastic there. So,
hey, imagine if they traded JT Miller instead of Horvat. Would the return still be the same?
Yes. Yeah.
So it'd be the same exact package, but
I think
JT
so.
Miller as opposed
At
to
that
Horvat.
time when they traded Horvat,
I think so. Yeah.
because the year before,
But JT Miller was positive though. Like, he was 99 points.
The year before, in the midst of the Bruce There It Is era, he was a $5.25 million cap hit.
But
And
Horvat doesn't have the baggage that Miller has.
True.
Yeah, Horvat doesn't have the baggage. Like Miller's got all
but no one really noticed that.
The year prior.
Well, no, but remember though, going into 21-22, we had the Miller versus Horvat alleged feud. And that never got denied. Right?
The whole country club thing, right?
Yes. So, and the fact that was never denied, which by the way, no answer is an answer. Let's get that right. And I mean, this isn't like remember when recently with the Senators, remember that tweet that came out about Lena Solmark's Yes, Lena Solmark's supposed leave of absence, and the Senators felt the need to put out a statement or whatever because it was just some random Joe Schmo that was putting that out, and everybody said that Ottawa made that worse by responding to it. That wasn't like that with Horvat versus Miller and Miller versus Petey. These are Vancouver journalists that were reporting these alleged feuds. So there did have to be some credibility in that sense for them to put it out in the spectrum. But anyways,
do you think, sorry, just to break you up on that, because do you think at that time that Horvat and JT Miller feud divided the room? Because there was media
I believe
that was saying that, you know, there could potentially be like a team Horvat and a team Miller.
I believe that. I do believe that.
And for players that were playing under that kind of environment, I would assume that, you know, mentally it's messed up because
absolutely.
Like, it just, like, how does that even happen? How does management let that kind of stuff happen?
Well, I've said this before. It's management's lack of responsibility that led to them trading Quinn Hughes. You had for instance, you had the Bruce Boudreau handling of that firing, the Miller versus Petey versus Horvat versus Rick Tocchet, which, by the way, once you get to 3 times, one crappy relationship happens to everybody. Once you get to twice, and especially 3 times, you're the common denominator. If you're the one who's in all those situations, you're the problem in all of them. So,
And can we just point out, in preparation for doing this, I knew we were going to be talking about JT Miller today. I realized that he has been traded in the midst of 3 consecutive contract extensions.
yes.
By 3 different teams.
Yep.
So you want to talk about red flags.
Yeah. But I do think one of the biggest ones is this 180 reversal in 10 weeks, because the 10-week evolution just does not happen, because I've said before that change does not change until you've changed. There's something else that goes with that, though, which is, and genuinely think about this, how many times in your life have you ever done a complete 180 reversal regarding your view on a person or a topic? Because I'm willing to bet you the things in which you have done them on, I've done it on a few things. There were 2 things that happened during that time: time and wisdom, which is knowledge. Those are not things that just happen overnight. Like, here's an example. I'm not married. I never have been. And as my grandfather says, I never will. Anyways, yes, he keeps me humble. Where was I going? I've never heard of a happily married person, and Yrvin can speak to this if it's true. I've never heard of a happily married person go to bed and then wake up the next morning and say, you know what, screw it, I'm going to divorce my spouse. Like, I want out. Like, everybody who I know that's gotten divorced, it's never happened overnight.
Never.
It's been at least a year that you've had it bad for, because no one just does a complete 180 like that. And everyone who I know that's gotten divorced, they've always said, yeah, it's been bad for at least a year, and I miss this, and this. So I just don't believe in this 180 evolution. And that's how it's supposed to be spun, by the way. And I still can't believe to this day that doesn't get questioned more. The fact that all in 10 weeks, you went from one handshake and a podium walk away from trading JT Miller at the 2022 draft to now you're going to commit to him for the next 7 years. Like what the situationship did you think was going to happen? Especially considering that Patrick Alvey never admitted during his Miller press conference that he was wrong for nearly trading him. I mean, like I said, we knew what the trade package was going to be. This wasn't like, oh, they're just interested. No. We knew what the return was going to be. We knew it was going to be the 13th overall pick plus something else or whatever. So, and I mean, my point was proven to be right, because he was traded 27 months later. So,
yeah.
And by the way, it should have also been a red flag, the reaction to the contract itself. Like, once it was signed, because it was viewed as cautiously pessimistic at best. Which, by the way, sounds like an oxymoron when you first think about it. By the way, petty side note for a second, oxymoron, my favorite insult.
Sorry, whose extension was cautiously pessimistic?
JT Miller's.
Yeah, well.
JT Miller's. I mean, think about it. It was viewed as cautiously pessimistic because, and the reason I say that is because
the acquisition to begin with was pretty panned when it happened. If you remember, when he came to Vancouver. Yes, well, because remember, He was coming off that 2019 Tampa Bay Lightning team and had the embarrassing, colossal disaster that was losing to the Columbus Blue Jackets in a sweep, to which Tampa showed up for 2 out of 12 playoff periods. But remember, one of the reasons that Miller was expendable was because they had a much younger Braden Point they had to sign. Correct. So that's why he was expendable. And I mentioned this as well. The reaction to the trade was very similar to the Philip Hronek trade, which was, okay, relatively decent player, top 6'4", whatever. Why is Vancouver paying a first-round pick to Tampa for a guy whose career high was like 50 points or whatever at that time? Why is Vancouver helping Tampa clear out their cap space? Like, it wasn't viewed in the most positive of light. And I think when you're already starting behind the 8 ball, when you're already starting from a glass half empty perspective, you got to work that much harder to do that 180 reversal. Now, to some, that can be a motivator, that extra motivation of, okay, now I got to prove something. We see that all the time, in which when your partner's family doesn't like you, but you love your partner so much that you're like, you know what, like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to show them that I love them. But the key thing to that is they have to be open, though, to the idea of actually changing their opinion. Because usually when you get that first thought or first opinion, it's never hard to shake it off.
No, but I mean, I think fans in general in Vancouver did welcome JT Miller with open arms. I mean, the price that they paid that first overall pick was at the
It was
time
expensive. It
a
was
lot of people
expensive.
were like, why would you give, like what you were just saying? Why would you give up a first overall and you're helping out Tampa clear out
Well,
space?
especially because
Like
it was for a draft pick the next year. It was for 1 year from now.
Oh gosh.
And it was, what are you doing?
And if we hadn't
Yeah.
made the playoffs, we would have kept that pick, and it would have been
In
a lottery
2021.
pick, an
Yep.
unprotected pick we were giving to Tampa.
Yep. Oh yes.
Which, let's not talk about the 2021
that would have been
draft with the Canucks.
big. That would have been a big mistake. But you know what? He did come in and perform, right? I mean, he
Yeah.
had the 99-point season. He had the over 100-point season. He was pretty much, when he was on, he was the ideal sort of power forward that Canucks have always looked for ever since Bertuzzi. Todd Bertuzzi is who I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then, you know, mentally, because of his ego or because of whatever, you know, he was going through, that changed the dynamics of the dressing room. That's what messed it up. Because if you look at it from a player perspective, just as an overall player, he is a great player, but it's just all the headspace stuff that's causing him problems.
Yeah.
Nice tie-in.
Do you
I also
recall-
go
sorry,
ahead.
do you recall the bubble playoffs in that 7th game versus Vegas? And Vegas scored the empty netter, which was the dagger, and then you see JT Miller just leaning on the net, just staring, 1,000-mile stare. And
Oh
something
yes.
something people don't really talk a lot about is, at the time, I think
Oh,
his
yes.
mother-in-law was very sick. I think she's sick or passed away in the bubble. And what we know now about a lot of the guys on the American team being leaning a certain way politically, and then having to
Oh,
go
God.
through all sorts of COVID restrictions, for better for worse. Yeah, you try to think of all the things that were rolling through his head, like, I left my wife and she needed me, and for this team that couldn't pull through. So,
Oh God, I am still the wrong person to talk politics with.
well, not to make it political, but just to say that was something he was probably going through in the back during that run.
No, and that's true. But I also think, though, that two things can be true at the same time, which is, there is that unfortunate situation, but the guy does have an ego. The guy is, intense is always the word that I come back to when it comes to JT Miller. It's the word intense.
It's a bit volatile, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
No, but I mean, JT Miller's always tough love, right? Like he's about tough love. Like if you aren't doing something, he's gonna let you know about it, and then it's not gonna baby you. He's not gonna baby you to like PD, right? Like it just feels like management has been babying PD.
Oh yeah.
And that's why we're in this predicament right now. And at the point, I think management also did tell JT, this is someone can go check it, but I don't think it's ever been said. There was a hint that management went to JT and's like, can you whip this guy into shape, or get him back into the groove? And that's how everything spawned again, was that they knew there were issues with these two players, and they got him to go and.
I mean, Bruce Boudreau knew about these issues
Why?
even before he took the job. Like, Bruce Boudreau knew these issues before he took the job in Vancouver. So
something I wanted to ask Rain while he's here is, you had the 2020 core, which was a Norris winner, 200-point centerman, 4 forwards that were 30 to 40 goal scorers, and a Vezina caliber goalie. Was that core a failure of Cap, or a failure of personalities?
I never think it's a failure of Cap, because I don't believe in this argument that, we didn't have the cap space. We didn't have the cap space to make it work. That's just simply not true. I'm sorry, that's not true. There are people who work on every single team where that's their job, is to figure out how to make the cap work. They're capologists. And I always find it a red flag when RFAs sign long-term deals like in September or like right around training camp. That's always a red flag to me, because my first reaction always is, why didn't you get this done months ago? And also, I always think if player X is such an integral piece to your team and they're vital to your team's success, the conversation would never be, if we have the cap space to make it work, or if we're under the right circumstances. No. That's not what it would be. It would be, get it done. We'll figure out the rest afterwards. Like, I don't care what it takes. Get it done. We saw that with Kirill Kaprizov of Minnesota. Bill Guerin didn't give a crap what his cap was going to be. It was get this done. So I don't believe it's a failure of cap. I think it's a failure of personalities. But I also think it's a failure of the fact that when you really think about it, and by the way, I still don't entirely believe that this current situation is a rebuild. I'm still not entirely convinced yet, but let's say for argument's sake that it is. This is the first rebuild under Francesco Aquilini since he took over in November 2004. We've never seen this team do a true full-on rebuild. I mean, hell,
I don't think there's been one throughout the whole history of the Canucks.
Well, certainly not since Aquilini.
Not a true one.
Not a true one.
Not a true full rebuild. No.
Yeah.
There's never been.
He traded Kessler in the middle of it and held on to the Sedins and Hamius and Bexa, which kept us in the middle, the mushy middle, which is like purgatory.
The worst position you want to be in.
and I totally agree with Rain about, is this a true rebuild or not? Because saying something in the press is totally different than saying something in a podcast that comes out in Toronto.
I gotta see on camera. I want to see I want a live press conference on camera, and I want to see your body language. I want to see the body language. I want to see if they're actually telling the truth on this. Because you can put out a press release that could have been written by the 20-year-old intern. I don't know, but that's my thing. I mean, it took 3 games after Quinn Hughes was traded before we got the retool on the hybrid. So we know that. Thank you.
Because it's stupid. Rutherford had that statement, a press release. That was I think Canucks.com or something saying, "Oh, it's time for a rebuild." Then a few days later, on Prime, at the intermission, Yrvin went on and talked to the panel and said, "Oh, this is a rebuild hybrid." Or rebuild in the form of a hybrid retool or something like that.
Yeah, it was retool in the hybrid form.
What?
Yeah.
It's like I could not help but roll my eyes at that. It's like, oh my god. And I mean, listen. Yes, the guy is Swedish. Yes, English is his second language. At some point, though, we can't use the excuse of it being a language barrier. I mean, the guy's lived in America for a minute now. The guy's spoken English for a minute now. We can't use the language barrier excuse forever. So, but yeah, I'm not entirely convinced yet, and I'm not even sure if a PD trade would convince me. But I also think it's gonna be at least 2 years though before a PD trade happens.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm gonna say 2 years.
Just given the financial commitment, I tend to think that would be what would signal a full-on rebuild. But yeah, like I said, saying it in back channels is totally different than actually addressing me or you as the fans, the buying consumer of your product, right? It's like when your parents are talking about you versus talking to you. There's a big difference.
Oh yes.
Right. So, okay. real quick, as we are winding down on time.
Oh yes, because you gotta get to your BS debate.
Are we gonna have enough time for Gerald?
We can keep it short. I mean, for Rain, we can definitely bring him back again. And,
okay. Because this might be a case of we don't have time for Matt Damon.
No! If you got
gag.
Matt Damon on, you have to prioritize him before me.
It's a Jimmy Kimmel gag.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Because I really want to give it the time that it deserves, but I can't go past 11 today.
Okay. I mean, we had the title on the YouTube channel for.
I know.
Yeah, no, you got to do it. You got to do it.
But at the same time, we have Rain here who can moderate for us. But we'll definitely have Rain on. I think what we can do is we'll meet up with Rain.
Sorry.
Did you just
wait? No.
Okay. Okay, we might. You know what we have to do? I think we'll have to record a live, like a session with Rain. It doesn't have to be live, and we'll do this when we all have a time. Then we can do all of it. But this is just a taster for everyone else that came on today.
Do you want to just set it up before the night's over?
Like I said, if you posted that list of all of my red flags from my JT Miller thing, like everybody's eyes would go like the size of Texas. Like it'd be huge. You'd be like,
Let's try to set up something this weekend or early next week that the three of us can sit down and we'll do a pre-recorded and then we'll throw it on. Doesn't have to be live.
Okay.
But for today, we're gonna do the BS. Are you okay with going over just a tad over 11, Yrvin? So we'll do what, an hour 15 at most.
Not tonight.
Okay.
Unfortunately for me.
Because we basically only have 5 minutes for BS right now.
I mean,
If you can make it, if you can make it an extra 5 minutes at least, 10 minutes is enough. We each get our argument and we'll just throw it.
okay. We got to make it quick. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Just to set it up.
I am just going to, okay. So instead of the coin, do you have a coin actually?
I do. So just to set it up, this is going to be a debate segment between Gerald and I called Between Shifts. The topic's going to drop, and it's going to be related to Canucks or hockey. We're going to flip a coin, and the winner's going to get to choose which side they argue. And then we're going to have our opening statements, a bit of back and forth, and then we'll each give a closing statement, and then the tiebreaker will be Rain, as well as the chat.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
just gonna take that off.
So I have the wheel set up.
Oh, I was gonna do. Okay.
Do you see it? I have it loaded already.
Okay, Gerald,
Looks
call
like
it.
I can't add stuff.
Gerald.
Okay. So I'm just gonna click it and we'll see. Okay, so I guess it's me.
Oh, we should drop our topic first.
Oh yeah, that might help.
Okay, so the topic, you don't have a slide for it. Okay, so I think the topic, we're doing the rebuild one, right?
Topic is the case for tanking.
Okay.
So now,
Okay.
Gerald, your choice. The choice is:
So-
would you like to argue for or against tanking?
Oh my god, I love this. Because you know, there's some people out there on YouTube. There's these trolls saying that I'm the anti-tank
Okay.
commander.
It's just that serious.
Anti-tank. Okay, so I will go for. Actually, I'm still gonna go for anti-tank.
Okay.
You can go first.
I can go first. Okay, so
Or do you want me
sorry.
to go first?
no, it's okay. The case for tanking is pretty. I just need a timer.
Wait, how much time do you guys get?
Just set me 3 minutes.
Okay, here I'll set a clock then.
Please
Okay.
do.
Okay, so Yrvin's starting. That's how we're doing it. Okay, 3 minutes. Go.
Okay, the case for tanking is simple. Right now, we don't have any elite talent, and the only way to bring it in is through the draft. We're not going to be able to sign players unless we pay out the nose. We're not going to be able to trade for players because we have nothing that anybody wants to trade for. And the models are simple. You look at teams like the Avalanche, who won with McKinnon, teams like Tampa, who won with Hedman and Stamkos, and teams like Pittsburgh, who won with Sidney freaking Crosby. So, you know, it's really the only real way to compete. This whole notion that we're going to try to make the playoffs, and then suddenly, next thing we know, we're in 9th or 10th place, and we're not even in the playoffs, and at the same time not being close enough to do a lottery pick. Not to mention the fact that the majority of the time when we make the playoffs, we're not competitive enough to win a round. So to me, tanking is the clear way, not purposely, but organically, and while making smart sound picks. You can stop time there.
Okay.
How long was that?
That was a minute 18.
Okay.
Okay, three
Okay, so-
minutes. All right, 3 minutes, G.
Yeah, I probably
Go.
won't use it.
All right.
Okay. Okay. I don't think that the Canucks should deliberately tank. I just think everything should be done organically. So whatever happens, I mean, I'm sort of for tanking, but at the same time, it's going to be bad for revenue. It's going to be bad for the fans. It's going to be tough going to the arenas. That I don't care, because it's the owner's issue. You made an investment. This is an investment. It's not some sort of write-off for you for expenses. But if you want to stay competitive, you obviously have to get some good assets in order to continue to build. But for not tanking is don't deliberately tank. It's just whatever happens, let it happen. Like right now, like let the kids play. I think I've been saying it the whole time, is to have all these kids come. You have a chance right now to sign these collegiate players and give them playing time. You could easily find some good gems that weren't drafted, and stick those into your third, fourth lines and play with them. And I think as long as the product is competitive, people will still continue to come to the games. If they lose the games, that's fine. It contributes to hopefully DuPont next season or next draft, not this upcoming one. But if they win, great. But just to make the playoffs, I don't see it as a win, because I think management came in always saying, "Oh, we're going to be back in the playoffs. We're going to be back in the playoffs," but it's always the mushy middle, right? So, as long as it's not management making moves to interfere with the kids playing, I think let it happen naturally. And if it becomes a tank, then let it be. But if it doesn't, and somehow, they get to the playoffs at some point, then that just gives the new kids experience to know what playoff hockey is. Because there's always an upside to making the playoffs. It's a different animal. It's a different part of the season. And players play differently, more physically, more, aggressively. There are these players that are made to the playoffs.
30 seconds.
Like Kane, or like, I don't know, Stamkos or whoever, that gain that experience from playoffs. So if you don't give the kids a chance to actually reach the dance and experience what it is, they're never going to be a contender, because they don't have that experience of adversity, of losing in the playoffs or playing in the playoffs before actually accomplishing the big show.
Good timing. That was your 3 minutes. So much for, I don't need 3 minutes. Yeah, you did.
All right, so let's leave it at that without the supporting arguments. If you're in the chat, just drop a name in the chat, or even if you're watching this on replay, drop a name in the comments to say who you sided with.
Can we actually do a poll? We can do a poll in here, no? Is it under media?
I think you have to do it in YouTube Studio. So that's why I'm just doing it this way.
Okay.
And you can't vote for Rain. Rain didn't have an argument. Rain is
No.
Rain is the tiebreaker. Okay.
Rain will be the decider, but in the chat, if you can throw a G, or if you can throw a Y, at least we have a better understanding of who you thought won the BS today.
Yes, you can decide, Taylor. Just say who you like better. Just say it.
Yeah, Yrvin's running short on time. He has roughly about 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Well, I mean, Clay's already on, so we probably should get out of here. Okay, Rain, real quick. Who had the more compelling argument?
It's G. G.
So did you say me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
G
G.
gets, G gets the first win. And Yrvin just took himself off the screen.
Okay, awesome. Well, we got one vote for Gerald. Rain's vote does not. Wait, Rain left us.
We got one
Okay.
for you.
Got a couple
Annalie.
for me.
Got Snapdragon for you too.
Okay. Well, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that's a segment I was really looking forward to, and I would love to do more of it. I really hope we didn't just lose Rain. We'll have to reach out.
Oh no, he's here.
Sorry,
Oh,
tech
there you go.
issues.
You're good. You're good. Okay. Yeah. So, loved it. That was a lot of fun. I hope to make that more of a fixture in the show. If you are again watching this on replay, reach out to us and let us know if there's any topics that you want us to debate. And like I said, it's one that we're going to be flipping coins, so we don't even know beforehand which side we're going to argue on, and that's really the fun of the segment.
I mean, even today, I didn't even know. Like, I just did the wheel,
Yeah.
and Yrvin's like, "You pick." So
I just knew I was moderating. That's all.
Yeah. So at
Appreciate that.
least we had someone that gave, because we weren't sure if we had enough time to go through all the comments to see, or we'll try to do a poll for the next one, and then you guys can
That'd be
vote.
great.
But today, we appreciate having Rain here, and it was a lot of fun. We will, you know what? I will post onto our X, Threads, Instagram, whatever it is. DM us what
YouTube
you want
community, we
us
should
to
have
talk about,
a poll option,
or
too.
even in the community tab on YouTube. Let us know what you want us to debate about, and we'll do it. We'll pick one every week and we'll debate it, and then we'll see if we can get Rain every week. If not, we'll
Yeah.
revert to
Oh
the
god,
chat.
that might
But,
disappoint people if you get me every week, buddy.
Well,
who
we'll
knows?
absolutely
But in
have
the
you back.
comments,
Because
let
you
us
see-
know.
There's definitely more. There's definitely more we could touch on. Any closing thoughts before we let you go?
I honestly cannot wait for the off season, because the one thing I want to do is I want to do like a free agent recap show and like just judge all the free agent signings, because GMs spend money like chickens, but their heads cut off.
Okay. Do you want to see yourself out?
All right, bye guys.
That
Thank
was
you, Rain. You're
Rain
awesome.
Winslow. Okay, great show.
Any final thoughts?
I that's a segment I really want to do more of. But obviously we went a bit long for time. But we can definitely flesh it out. So yeah, looking forward to next week. We got Kraken on Saturday, and then we will be seeing you guys again on next Thursday, as usual. Appreciate all the support in the chat. Any closing thoughts, Gerald?
I loved it. I think this is a great, segment for us. But in terms of time management, we will work on that for you guys. Let us know what you guys thought about BS. Let us know what you thought about this whole stream. Leave us a comment. If you're rewatching afterwards, leave comments. We'll go through them. We'll read through them. And any DMs. I mean, I've gotten DMs so far. I actually have to talk to Yrvin about a potential guest. So drop us DMs, drop us your thoughts, what we should talk about BS on the next show. But this was awesome. Thank you. And give us a like if you can. Turn on that notification bell so you know when we come on. And we'll see you probably next Thursday, if not before that. But if we do come on, just have that bell on, then you'll know when we come on.
All right. You ready? One shot. For Headspace Hockey, I've been Gerald and Yrvin.
I'm Gerald.
Peace out.